take my shoes off. Hi, Grandma. We got your Halloween card today. Thank you. It was so cute. Oh, hey, everybody. Hey, Penny. I'm trying something new. I'm always trying something new out, right? I'm going to type the entries of Georgia's and then switch. And I was trying to make it so that this could always stay. I was trying to put it on top. But I think if I have it on the bottom, it will actually always be there to like say which person's entries we're reading. We'll have to try it out. Hey, Melissa. Fiddlesticks. How's everyone doing? Hi, Rihanna. Hey, Rachel. A lot of familiar faces coming in. Oh, you know what? I'm going to unplug my headphones from there. Hope you guys could hear me okay. I'm good. How are you? Awesome. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Today was a pretty good day at school. Can't complain. And today, Ralph comes back. I feel like I've been missing so much of this recently. Yeah, it's a busy time of year. It's hard to set aside, I'm sure for you guys especially, because it's like a couple hours of your evening every week. For me, I have to be here for it to happen, so. Yeah, I'm on Wednesday today instead of Thursday because it's Halloween and we're going to have little trick-or-treaters tomorrow, so I don't want to be online and not being able to open the door for them. Hey, Nikki. Lots of trunk-or-treating? Yeah. Our school had a trunk-or-treat last week. I didn't go, but the kids had a blast. And then they're not doing anything too crazy at my school for Halloween. I don't think the kids are really going to wear costumes. It's up in the air whether they are or not. So we will see. But I'm just going to be wearing my black and orange. All right, so we finally get to hear from Ralph again. I'm excited. He hasn't written in over a month. Oh, Nikki said, what's trunk-or-treating? Trunk-or-treating is a newer phenomenon. I don't know how new, but they didn't do it when I was little. So the past few years, where people will all get together, like a school might organize it or a neighborhood, and they will like go to a parking lot and line their cars up so that their trunks are facing out, and they decorate their cars. Like sometimes it's a theme, sometimes it's just like Halloween decorations, and then the kids walk through the parking lot to each car, and then it's like trick-or-treating, but to the different cars. So I think the idea is like it's safer because it's contained and they're not walking in the street and everything. But now it seems like people don't do that instead of trick-or-treating. I don't think they do it as extra, like on top of trick-or-treating. Yeah, like car boot sales, but for kids. See, I don't know what a car boot sale is. Is that like literally they're selling things out of the trunk of their car? Because I always thought that was just another name for a flea market, but I must be wrong. But yeah, it's a newer thing. Yeah. Yeah, like a flea market, except I think, well, I guess there's no real rules to it. Some of them must have tables and stuff, but I found every trunk-or-treating in the area and been taking the kids to it. Nice. Lots of free candy. Yeah, it's a cute idea. I don't know how many trick-or-treaters we'll get. Last year, during Halloween, I was on a grad class, or maybe I was live streaming. I don't know. I think I was in class. That's what it was, because I remember one of my classmates, she was so sad because she wanted to take her son trick-or-treating, and my professor let her go early because he's so little. She wanted to take him. Yeah, so I just put out a bowl of candy because I wasn't able to go up to the door every time if the doorbell rang. And there was quite a bit of it gone, but I don't know how many kids came. So we'll see. Tomorrow, I don't know if I'll be busy. I'll watch TV or something in the living room. It's exciting to finally be at the point where I'm giving out Halloween candy to the kids of the neighborhood. All right, so I guess we will start reading. We have 2 people to read again now. So I've switched up my format a little bit. I'm going to toggle between Ralph and Georgia, and hopefully that will help make it so that there's not too much information or words on the screen, but we can adjust it if we need to, of course. So we're starting with Georgia, and we're on August 23rd. And I think I'm going to delete this and just add to it as I go. Yeah. I had to add the lines for the table because I couldn't figure out where to click. Okay, and then I can also make the text a little smaller probably, but I'll just keep going and see what it looks like. So Georgia got up at 7:30. I'm going to try to zoom in as much as I can there. Thank you, Pickled Egg, for the follow. I love your username. You guys have some good ones. Oh, I will, yes. Thanks, Rachel. I keep thinking of that because I got to do it earlier this this month. I will. I haven't done it yet. I'm going to put it on my list. Because the end of November is extremely busy with Thanksgiving. I have a couple of weddings to go to. So I think having the Patreon meeting towards the beginning of the month. Hold on, my brain just stopped and I couldn't spell all of a sudden. Okay. Having it towards the beginning of the month will be better for me this month, so. Okay. I know, it is crazy. Hi, Kai. Cute little plant growing on your username. Very cute. Okay, got up at 8:30. Helped with dishes and other work. And you guys let me know if this is a good font size, if it's too small, too big, if it's in the way. I can't see where the chat is, so. Wait. Helped with dishes and other work, comma, with dinner and dishes. Read a while. Helped with supper. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Rachel. R and I went driving in evening. Went to bed at 10:30. Okay, now I want to change one thing because I feel like this is weird. So I want to make her... Oops, hold on. I'm going to make this big for a second. I want to make her name not look like it's supposed to be part of the entry. I'll make it like a color or something. Blue? Yeah. And I'll do the same thing for Ralph's. Bold blue. Okay. And then I'll go back here. Ralph, good question. I think he's 22. I wrote it in the other one. I'm going to actually add it. 23. I'm going to add that in here. So she's 25. He is 22. Okay, thank you for reminding me because I did have that on display before. And the little picture at the top of my screen is Ralph. I wonder if I could move him a little towards the side. That's Ralph. We don't have a picture of Georgia. I hope that someday we get one. But ooh, the Caffeine Kid, thank you for the follow. Also good username. Okay, so now we have to get back into the swing of things, moving back to Ralph's entries. He's starting us off with a short one. Clear and hot. So after a... Oh, thanks, Luke. Yeah, it is. It's strange, but it's cool. After an over a month-long hiatus, Ralph just gives us a very short comment about the weather and no explanation as to why he has not written in so long. But he hasn't been... I had like a theory maybe he was on vacation or he went to a job or something. But no, he was with Georgia. She was writing about going places with him. And he went from writing every single day to just nothing. So I don't know. I was hoping he'd come back and say, oh, I lost my diary and I found it. Finally. Yes, Georgia is... We're assuming they're engaged at this point because they do get married in December of this year. So we will actually get to read the day that they get married, both of their accounts of it, which is really cool. They haven't officially said we're engaged, but unless a proposal happens, which it's possible. I don't know how long in 1903 people usually were engaged for, but unless we come across something that says, oh, Ralph proposed to me, I think they already are engaged. Has Ralph put anything in the memoranda at the back to explain his absence? Good question. I didn't actually check his, because I just realized that Georgia had one not too long ago, but I'll check Ralph's. This is cool. I always like to show you guys, like, when I open up his diary. He's got a little stamp in it. Nice, beautiful letter S for Slippy. And then he's got a little sticker. God forbid I say the word sticker. People will get all mad. He's got a little thingy glued in there. How about that? He doesn't have sticker sheets. Okay, I'm looking. He has like a lot on the cash account, which we really need to look back at that. Maybe on the Discord, I'll write it down. I'll send just the cash accounts, because I know that Felicia really likes that. His, like, financial log. We can go through it together at the end, like, after the diaries are over, but I know that Felicia would like a sneak peek at that for sure. And he's writing a lot in there. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna go back to... In his memoranda, he's still, that's, money related. Hold on. I don't see anything. No, he didn't write anything. He filled out the part where you're supposed to, like, track your expenses really thoroughly, but didn't write anything for the, just, you know, extra little entries like she did. She would write in the memoranda section at the end of the diary whenever she didn't have room for all of her thoughts. Yes, they did. She has a horse named Hector. And I think that the horse Hector was her grandfather's before, but I think it's hers now because she's always riding Hector and she like calls him by name, which is cute. Hey, Holly. And yeah, she talks about hitching up Hector, and sometimes she'll say the buggy. So sometimes I don't know if she's riding horseback or if she's always in a buggy, but sometimes she's pretty specific about it. Other times she's not. So when she says they go driving, that's what she's talking about because they don't have a car. Yeah, yep. She used to actually, you'll notice if you hang around, she goes and picks Ralph up from work a lot. He works at all different places because he's a like a surveyor, an engineer. So he's always at a different place plotting out surveys and stuff, and she goes and picks him up and drops him off, and her dad too. She's always carting people around. All right, on the 24th of August, got up at 6:20. Helped with dishes and fix and can apples all morning. Helped with dinner and dishes. Mama took horse and went out to McClellan's after cucumbers. That's the second time they've gone to McClellan's to get cucumbers. Helped with supper. Rachel said, yeah, like that one time she was to pick him up. Yes, yes. And they had a little disagreement about the time. Yeah, they got in a fight because she didn't show up on time. Or she did, and Ralph just wasn't clear about what time he wanted her there or where he wanted her. I think that was the case. Helped with supper. Then Mama and I went to JC or IC train. I don't know. Hold on, I gotta look because I don't know what that actually says. I was guessing when I said train. Oh. These poor diaries are like falling apart. The leather is coming off of them. All right, we're on August 24. Mama and I took horse and went out to McClellan's after cucumbers. Helped with it's IC train, which I think is the Illinois Central Railroad. To see Mrs. Marsh. Gifford. I don't know what that is. Clifford? No, Clifford is Ralph's brother's name, but I don't think that says Clifford, but go through here to Jessup. what she means by add Gifford. I spelled Marsh wrong, thank you. I did. Usually it will highlight it for me. Okay, helped with... Also, I think that might be 2 S's. Dishes. Yeah, it could... Oh, it's Jersey? Yeah, it could be. Well, we could find out by looking... Hold on, I'm going to open it in a separate tab. I have a Google Earth thing for this. It's on here. Hold on. Okay, this is for New York. This is another diary that I'm reading, but hold on. I think it is Jessup because that name rings a bell. I think I've seen it around when we've done research. I just have to open up the right project here. Slippy Diaries. This will take us all the way to Iowa. Nope, it's going to take us to Africa. Why? It does that for some reason, but all the pins are here. Okay, so we are in Waterloo. Where is Waterloo here? So let's see. Ugh, this is really cluttered. How do I get them to go away? Zoom in. I'm going to look for Jersey, Iowa. Is there a Jersey, Iowa? No. Jersey Freeze, the ice cream place. Let's see if there's Jessup, Iowa. Yeah, I thought it was one S too. There is a town called Jessup. It is semi-close to Waterloo. She spelled it with 2 S's, but I think it is Jessup. Jessup is just outside Waterloo. Okay, cool. So I think it's that. But I definitely also saw Jersey too. A couple of other people said that. But I think also, just knowing her handwriting, that's a P. Definitely. Maybe we could do, like, is there a word that has a Y at the end? And a word that has a P at the end? Well, you can see here the P is similar. It's not at the end of the word, but... Or up. I guess that P is not that similar, but... Do we have a Y? Is there a word with a Y at the end? I don't know if... maybe Gifford is a place. Yeah. Let's see. I think it's just the joining between the E and the S that appears to be an R. Yeah, sometimes I will look at helped. Hold on. What am I looking up? Gifford. Sometimes it's just tough with handwriting. Yeah, there is a Gifford. I wonder what ad is. Because maybe she came from Gifford, came through Waterloo, and is going to Jessup. The P in the helped is similar. Okay, cool. Let me see. Helped. Yeah, it is in here. Yes, and it's right next to it. I think it's Jessup. Yeah, maybe added. Yeah, I don't know. Unless that's not add. Maybe that's a different... I don't know. Okay, helped with dishes. Read a while. Hey, Fifi Trooper, long time no see. Or at least long time since I've seen your username and noticed. Read a while. Sometimes people's names pop up and I might not see you every time, but sometimes I notice you. Went to bed at 10. Okay, now I gotta get used to going. The ad looks quite modern compared to her other handwriting. That's a good point, Luke. That's also why it looks... Yeah, it looks strange to me, like it's not... Like that's not what it says. Maybe it meant and Gifford. Yeah. So... We went to the IC train to see Mrs. Marsh. Oh, it has been months. Well, glad to see you too. Yeah, I don't know. It's stumping me. Because I feel like it also doesn't say add. But I don't know what else it would say. But it does look like modern handwriting compared to the rest. And that's an interesting point. Because that makes it also seem like... Yeah, add is another thing I was thinking of. Ralph uses the term add for addition. And addition in this sense would mean like parts of Waterloo. Like there are these old maps that I wonder if I have it in here. These old maps have different sections of the city called additions, like the Red River addition, and he calls it Red River ADD, add. It could be nay for her. Yeah, I don't think it is though, but I see what you mean. It could be a maiden name. Maybe she's the assistant district attorney. Hey, maybe. Yeah, I think addition is like a neighborhood. That would be a good way to describe it. Unless it's like they seen Mrs. Marsh, then adding another person. Yeah, that could be too. That could be it too. Area Development District. Oh, that's what it stands for? Because I always thought it was addition. I thought it was short for that, like they added it on. But oh my god, okay, I'm writing that down if that's the case, because I had no idea. Cool. Okay. Area Development District, and that makes sense. Okay. Gifford is capitalized, so it could be a place or name. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's the place. But we could also find out maybe she lives in Gifford. Like maybe Mrs. Marsh. But, I mean, we only have her last name. There was another... Oh, hold on. Barney Marsh was one of the engineers working on the bridge. Hold on. Rachel said she put something in here. Okay. Oh, a map of Gifford. So one of the engineers that was working on the bridge that Ralph and George's father were working on was named Barney Marsh. So maybe she is related to Barney Marsh, and maybe he's from Gifford. Maybe she's coming to visit. We can save that for maybe at the end. We can do one of our research sessions about it. Did the train run through Gifford? Good question. We could find out. It'll take a little bit of research. Because I have this railroad map. What did she say that I see? I'm guessing that's the Illinois Central Railroad map. In Iowa. Or Iowa Central? Okay, it might be Iowa Central. I just remembered that Illinois was a different one, but... Okay, hold on. Can I zoom in? No. No, don't download that. Should not just click on things. That map showed ADD, yeah. Wait, what did? This one? Yeah. Oh, it does say addition. Okay, so I guess it must be short for addition sometimes. Yeah, I know I tried control. It doesn't, it just makes this big, but doesn't make the picture big. And even if I have it open, it just zooms in the background. It must be because I'm supposed to buy this picture instead of just looking at it. But there might be another one. This is a railroad map of Iowa. Okay, so there is the Illinois Central. So it could be the Iowa Central or the Illinois Central. I'm thinking it's Mrs. Marsh's residence. Yeah, it could be. I'm just gonna, I don't feel like clicking on all these things right now, so I'm going to say, I'm going to add to my little list, I see railroad through here. And we will call it a day for now for that. Because last time I feel like we did a lot of research and then didn't get through as many. Okay. Ralph did not write on the 24th. But he does come back. He's done with his no writing streak. Georgia, 25th. There we go. Got up at 6:30. Helped with dishes and washing. Then dinner and dishes. Slippy is slipping on his writing. Good one. Mended. Went with Myrtle. I'm glad you guys know that it's on Wednesday today. I was worried people wouldn't know. On an errand. She stopped for me. I have a picture of Myrtle. I'm going to just add some spaces to this so I can scroll better. There we go. Helped with supper and dishes. Worked on fancy work. Fancy work means embroidery. She's been making things for her new house, I think. She was making Ralph pillow covers, which was cute, and bringing them to him at college. And then she was working on a waistcoat or a waist shirt. She just called it a waist, so we don't know what exactly, but I think it was just like a shirt. Went to bed at 10:30. I have a picture of Myrtle. I just gotta find her. She's in here. Myrtle is one of her friends, and they hang out with Myrtle and Chet a lot. Oops. So here's Myrtle, and this is her future husband, Chet. So Myrtle, at the time of the diary, her last name is Rush, but then she becomes Myrtle Shaw later on. Isn't that cool that we have pictures of them? I really wish we had a picture of Georgia. These are the other friends that I've been able to find, or who the diary detectives have been able to find. I can't take credit for all of them. Thanks for the follows, guys. Okay, we shall keep going. Ralph on the 25th, finally. And those of you who haven't gotten to see his lovely scrawl get to see it. You live in Waterloo? Oh my god. So let me tell you about these people then, because this is, I love when there's a random crossover. So, oh, you like his handwriting? Nice. Try to read it. So Waterloo is where both of our diary writers live now. Ralph, for a time, was away at college, but now he's living in Waterloo. And I have some old pictures. First of all, of Waterloo, which you might enjoy. This is Rhinebeck, where Ralph grew up. You probably know of Rhinebeck. I don't think it's far from Waterloo. And he went to college in Mount Vernon. And then the pictures of Waterloo that I have are LaPorte City. She also has ties to LaPorte City. Oh, that is so funny. Okay, so here are some pictures of Waterloo. She lived on, I don't know, like, if Waterloo, I think Waterloo's, like, pretty big, so I don't know if you'll know, but, like, Mulberry Street is the name of her street. And it's, I think, pretty central Waterloo. So that might be you know it? That's awesome. So her building where she lived, or her house, I don't know if it was, like, a larger towny building or if it was just a house. Yeah, the east side, yep. That is not there anymore, but some of the buildings that she went to are, and we have pictures of them. This is the school that she went to. It burned down in 1915, I think. At the time she went to it, it was Eastside High School, and now there's another building that's called Eastside High School. These are some more old pictures. We collected a bunch when we first started researching her. And then, crazy enough, Ralph, who is one of the people writing these diaries, there's two that we're reading. Let me show you his picture. Ralph becomes the mayor of Waterloo for a time. So he was a mayor of your city at one time. He's a little young in this picture, but later. Oh yeah, so East High, we had gone through the whole history of it when we tried to figure out which building she went in, because I thought it was this building. Because I had seen that she graduated from East High School or East Side High School or something. And when I looked it up, this is the building I got, which I think is still there today. I can't remember. But this actually, we found out later, is not the building that she went to school in. She went to school in the one that burned down. The reason I thought it wasn't this one is because when it burned down, it said this is the Hawthorne School. But then this took like hours and hours of research with my Patreon crew and a lot here on live with you guys. This building, it used to be East Side High School. Then she graduated in I actually have it, thank you, previous Addie writing down this. Okay, so it was the East Side High School, and when she attended, but in 1897, which is I think a year after she graduated, it moved to or maybe she graduated in 1897. Either way, after she graduated, it moved to another building. And then that building, which was East Side High School, became known as the Hawthorne School. And then in 1915, the Hawthorne School burnt down, but that was actually the building she attended high school in. But another building had the name East Side High School. It was confusing. You're enthralled, but what is she doing? Who are these people? They are some friends from 1903 in Waterloo, Iowa. And they're just living their life. They both wrote diaries in 1903, and we're reading through them and finding out more about them. So they're a couple. They are engaged. Sorry, I'm just like randomly clicking on things. I'm trying to show you guys pictures. They're engaged, or maybe they're not engaged yet, but either way, they're going to get married in December of 1903. So we will be able to read their wedding, which will be really fun. We don't have a picture of Georgia, but we have a picture of Ralph. He was pretty well known. He was a city engineer, and he also became the mayor of Waterloo. So those are who they are. How did I come across this diary? They were donated to us, these diaries. There's like 6 of them in this series. So they were donated by someone who read about another project I was working on. And those diaries we actually returned to a descendant, so that was cool. Do I add my typing of diaries to Ancestry? That would be a good idea. I do put it on my website. I don't directly upload them to Ancestry, but I put them on my website, and then I also make sure if I come across family members in my research, I try to send them the transcriptions too. Yeah, this is the 3rd one. Believe it or not. It's crazy. It would be a lot to upload, definitely. I guess I could just upload the doc file, but Mayor Hart is the mayor now, a black young man who's super cool. That sounds awesome. How cool is it to see your mayor now and be like, oh, this guy was the mayor. What year was it that he was? The 30s, I think? Yeah. He was the mayor of Waterloo from 1936 to 1946. Pretty crazy. It's been hard to find relatives of these two, though, because they didn't have kids. And then what made you start researching this? Super cool. Thank you. I started researching this in general after I found a diary at an estate sale that was from 1917, and it would just like, it was cool. I picked it up because I just thought it looked cool with the old handwriting, and it was someone's diary. They were selling it. So I didn't find out till later that it was from 1917, and then I ended up figuring out who the person was and looking up her name and everything. And she was a pretty well-known Brooklyn socialite. So luckily, that first story that I found was a really interesting one. It wasn't just like a boring diary, and I was able to figure out who owned it and find out so much about her. And that started my obsession with this. So I stumbled into it, you know. I followed you for a while. So funny that it's a diary from, oh, I didn't realize you followed me. That's funny too. That it just happened to be. Some people pop into the live just from the For You page sometimes and are like, that's my name, or wait, that's where I'm from. I know. I wish there was a picture of Georgia. I hope we'll find one. You're from LaPorte City. Oh my God, that's funny. So LaPorte City is, and it's so funny because I know this, but I'm from Massachusetts. I would never know anything about LaPorte City if it wasn't for these diaries. But LaPorte City is, or at least it was when she was there, smaller than Waterloo. I don't know if it's expanded or anything, but I've got some pictures and family members of hers in LaPorte City, and I've actually connected with one of her descendants, not directly because she doesn't have children, so she doesn't have any direct descendants going down the line, but someone who's like a descendant of her cousin who still lives in LaPorte City. So how cool is that? Her name was Georgia Newton, if Newton rings a bell. And I'm still looking for more relatives. So if you are from that area and you have any suggestions about who I can contact or connect with, please let me know. Yeah, his last name is Slippy, but she's Newton, and her family comes from LaPorte City. How funny. What a small world. What a small internet world. Let me find... I did connect with a museum, a historical museum in LaPorte City. Sorry, Rachel, I haven't been. I know someone who lives there. Hold on, I gotta go back up. Todd was from Iowa too. Handwriting is similar to your grandma's diary, which you really struggle to read. It just takes time. Takes time at first, especially even with the 1917 one. She's got really tough handwriting to read. And it's just like you have to decode the first couple of months probably and like go really slow, but then after a while you do learn it. Yeah, I know. It is nice, Nikki. We do have quite a few new people in here. It's a nice refresher to have people come in and have to kind of think back. They have middle names. Yes, Georgia is her full name. Hold on, what was I showing you? First, let me show you LaPorte City. These are some old pictures of your town. There's so much online. All this is like free to access. There's some things on Ancestry that I had to pay because I pay for Ancestry to see, but yeah, if anyone is interested, if you're from any of the towns I'm talking about and you want more like links and stuff to look at, we've collected so much stuff. So just message me and I will send you things about your town. Hold on, what page is this on? I'm trying to find if I have any more pictures of LaPorte City. I can't tell where I am in my slides. Here. No, that's Waterloo. I tried to like pare down a little bit. Here we go. So there's LaPorte City too. It's like her great uncle or something. Or no, I don't know. Her great uncle is great uncle Dan, who I have a picture of. But there's someone named Melvin who's like her second cousin or something. And he owned a drugstore in LaPorte City. These are some people in LaPorte City who she talked about. Like she visited someone, Pearl Klein, and she visited someone with the last name Kober. I just have to find, hold on. Uncle Dan. Here's Uncle Dan. Great Uncle Daniel Berry. And Aunt Ads. And I did check in with one of the historical societies in LaPorte City, and they said his farm is not there anymore. Or his house isn't there anymore. But this was like a picture of his house. Where are you seeing this? I've only found a few pics. We just do a lot of deep diving. So are you looking for Maria? I couldn't tell. Maria, you're looking for Waterloo, right? I usually search like historical photos of whatever town I'm looking at on Google. That's where I start. And then also another great place is Facebook groups. It's usually not a great place. Facebook groups are usually like the worst place, but sometimes you can find historic photo Facebook groups for a certain town, and they have some really good stuff because it's usually people who are uploading things that aren't everywhere on the internet. Did they ever explain why all the streets are dirt and unpaved? Do you mean nowadays or in the pictures? Because I think the answer in the pictures is just like, that's how streets were back then. Except probably in the city, they probably had cobblestone. Yeah, which pictures, I don't know which ones you're talking about. Because the drawing, obviously, his farm is probably like pretty rural. Do you mean in Waterloo? This one? That is paved because that's a newer picture. Yeah, I don't know. If you tell me which picture you're talking about, I can go back to it. But I've been like toggling between a bunch, so I don't know which one you were talking about. In one of these look paved because they're later on, I think. This one has some kind of like trolley track going through it. Yeah. I think some cities probably had cobblestone, but I actually think that was a coastal thing, mostly. I don't know for sure, but I know that I live kind of near New Bedford, and one time I was on a history like walk in New Bedford, and they were telling us about how they got the cobblestones from the ships. So the ships would come over, and when they were empty, they'd be full of stone so that they wouldn't like knock over because they had nothing in them. They weren't weighed down. And then when they'd come to pick up all the things they were trading, they'd drop off all the stones, the cobblestones, and then they would pick up the whatever they were trading and then leave, and then the city would use the cobblestones as like to line the streets with. That's where cobblestones came from, at least in New Bedford. That's like one of my favorite fun facts to tell people when we go to New Bedford. Yes, I have tried to look up my own family. I am Portuguese and French, and my French side has a lot more, but my Portuguese side, once I get like to my great-great-grandparents, I pretty much lose all records. Like, I can't find anything. So I try, and I do add to it every now and then, but it's been kind of like a dead end. So it's nice to do stuff like this, because we've already a couple of times been able to reunite people with old parts of their past that they didn't even know about. So I would appreciate it if someone found something from my family, if they shared it with me. So I have worked on it, though. I've tried, but it's much slower of a process. Would expect brick pavers for main streets. Yeah, probably in... I really don't know, so I probably shouldn't even, like, talk about this, because I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I think maybe in more central U.S., it would be probably bricks. But I know that in the, like, Boston and New Bedford, there's a lot of cobblestone, just because of the shipping. Whereas, like, Waterloo, they have river access, but they're not going to have as much coming into, like, ports and stuff. All right, Rainy in... Hold on. That was not him. This is him. A.M. Departed to city office in A.M., but did not go out to work. Spent forenoon, I love that word, straightening up my room. In PM, went out to Westfield and something there till 6:30. I was pretty rural, so maybe lack of access to materials. Yeah, maybe. There was a mention, maybe in like the last month of the diary. You think it's worked? Yeah. He just wrote 2 words on top of each other there. In another part of the diary, they mentioned something about a artificial rock plant that was going in. Maybe it was a newspaper article we read. I can't remember why that came up, but there was like an artificial stone company going in. So maybe they have cement, like artificial stone street. I don't know. Okay. There probably wasn't much need for paving until cars. 6:30. Okay. Now we tab to Georgia. And did I already read hers the 25th? Yes. Sorry, I'm getting a little confused because I changed my process. Looks like he was going to write departed and scribbled it out to write worked. Yeah, he tends to do that. Even though it's pencil, and pencil can be erased, he chooses not to. Got up at 6:20. I guess we can't be mad at him because he shouldn't be thinking about us reading his diary 100 years later. 6:20 after breakfast. Went up to Grandpa's, took his horse, and came downtown and home. Okay. Ironed, helped with dinner and dishes. Ironed again, mended. Rainy day. Helped with, if only they knew, 60 plus people right now would be seeing and reading this. I know. And there have been times where, for some reason, TikTok, like, would send my live out to hundreds of people. There were times in here where there was, like, hundreds of people reading. And that was, I think, during the Weatherman Diaries when Todd was writing. But it is funny sometimes, like, luckily, we haven't come across anything that's really embarrassing or really, really deep or heartfelt. It's been very, tame. A lot of the diaries back then were just records of life pretty much and not really very emotional. Help with supper and dishes. I love when we find events, when we come across stuff that we can find articles about. That's my favorite part. Some of the diaries I have are still the little tiny slim old pencils in the spine of them. Oh, that is cool. I don't have any of those, Rachel. I really like that. Went downtown. Went to bed at 9 o'clock. Yeah, you must mean because it's written like... So Stone Glasgow says, strangely, it almost seems designed for quasi-public access. Yeah, because of the way it's written. It's almost written as if... Especially how they write people's names, like full names sometimes. Like, oh, I went to this place with this person. Why would they need to write the full name if it's just them who are destined to read it? They're kind of like writing it for somebody else. I agree. Jenna Whitcomb, you just popped up on my FYP for the first time and you're invested. Welcome to the never-ending club. It's fun. And we're just getting started. We're like halfway through this series. We read an 1895 diary of Georgia's, and then we read a 1901 diary of Ralph's, and now they both happen to have a 1903 diary. But you'll see that a bunch of people in here, they've been also stuck in the club for a long time. I usually go live on Thursdays. Today is different because of Halloween. So if you want to catch me again next Thursday. And actually, let's take a little intermission. I'm going to put a live event for next week. Oh, I feel like my voice is going. A lot of the kids have been sick at school. Okay. I'm just going to make a live event for next week because it's helpful, I think, for people. It actually gives them a notification when I go live sometimes. Thanks for all the likes, guys. Oh, so nice. And the follows. Oh, awesome. Hold on, let me look. What is the date next Thursday? My computer doesn't open up the calendar. The 7th. November 7th. And 118. Okay. So that should be up there now. You just go to my TikTok page, and if you want to get a notification, you go to where it says live event, and if you click on it, it'll say the one for next week too. Actually, it's probably not up yet. It takes like a minute. But yeah. Oh boy, my voice is like cracking. I'm a teacher, so I'm constantly in like a petri dish of germs. I hope I'm not getting sick. I don't feel sick, but sometimes my voice just like goes away. August 26th. This is Ralph. We should do an October 31st. Okay, we can do that. We can definitely do that. That's a great idea. Got up at 6:30. Departed. That's a new word for Ralph. I guess it's been a month since we've seen him, so he's changed a little bit. Departed at City Hall. Started to walk, actually, but got caught, cannot type, in rain. And see, I don't know, like, when he was trying to add that in, but, and as there was no inside work, went to courthouse. Fixed up them, or and then? No, fixed up them. And sent, I don't know, I might need to change that. No, they're not married yet. They're gonna get married in December. We get to read it. And sent copy to something Williams and P.E. Bellamy. We know him. So who's Williams? I'm going to go to the old document. This is the one where I had both of them in here. Number 1. H.S. Williams. That's the Professor Williams. Okay, we have a picture of him. I'll show you guys after. But H.S. Williams and P.E. wrong thing, but Bellamy. These are people he went to college with. Well, Professor Williams was one of his professors, and he went with Paul Bellamy. Spent afternoon in office, getting home about 5:30. Went to Depot and brought tickets, or bought tickets to Des Moines. Okay, I have pictures of, he's not going to be in here. It'll be in here. Sorry, I have like a million documents. This is all on my website too if you're new and want to check out the rest of the diaries. This is Paul Bellamy. We actually have more than one picture of him. I don't know if I have another one in here or if I put it in here. We've seen him a few times. He's in here. Yeah, so these are all, come on, here, pictures of Paul. He is one of Ralph's friends. That's Trig, actually. These are Paul. And they're from the yearbooks of Cornell College, where Ralph went. Oh, I just answered your question, Maria. He went to Cornell College in Mount Vernon, Iowa. And Lisa asked, why do I do this? Just for fun? Yeah, basically. It's rewarding when we get to return things to descendants and when we get to just find more information. Yeah, thank you. Because I'm the reincarnation of the lady that I first read. Yeah, the first diary that I got into, a lot of people say I look like her. And the picture of Ralph we're just seeing now, is it his college photo? Yes, it is. From 1903. Okay, what was I doing? I want to show you Professor Williams. I've got a picture of him somewhere. How about I do... Unless H.S. Williams is not Professor Williams. I was thinking it was because we do have a Professor report in bridge design to Professor Williams. Where was just H.S. Williams? I don't know. Maybe it's not him, but we do have a. This is. Oh no, that's Sylvester Williams. That's different. H.S. Williams might be this other guy then. Sorry, I'm going to be clearing my throat a lot. My voice is going away. Try from the top. Can I go from one? No. Howard Williams. Wonder if it's Howard. Let's see if Howard's middle name is an S. This is just a hobby. Okay, hold on. Where is Williams? Here. Do you think he's on this page? Yeah, Howard S. Williams. Okay, that's who it is then. So that's not Professor Williams, it's him. I'm going to copy and put him down here. Copy both things. Because we're going to need him when we fill in our little scrapbook for these. Yes, it is detective level. You should see some of the things that we have spent time on and that we've figured out. It's really fun. Yeah, if you go on my link tree, there's a link to my website that has all that stuff that I've been tabbing through, so you can take a closer look if you want. And a link to my Patreon also, because we have a very dedicated group of diary detectives in the Patreon group, if you like that kind of thing. Okay. Back to Georgia. Read this one. Sorry, it takes me a while to get my bearings, especially when we're talking a lot, but I like that. Thanks for the follows, guys. August 27th. Yeah, I forgot. Someone did ask again how we got these diaries. They were donated by someone who was keeping up with another project that I was working on, another diary project. They donated these as a next project. Inactivity. Gotta move around so TikTok knows I'm alive. Got up at 2 o'clock. And are any of my diary detective people interested in coming on at the end to do a little research together. It's okay if you're not, but that way I can plan it in. I can't believe she went to bed at 9. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that would make sense if it was 7 o'clock, if she got up at 7 o'clock, but why does it look like a 2? Oh no, she probably did get up at 2 o'clock to get on a train. For once. She never gets up that early, but I think that this is a special day. Because they got somewhere at 8. No, oh, that's okay. Oh, that's okay. So will all this be uploaded? Yeah, you can. So on my website, I'll open it up right now. So on my website, if you click on Slippy Diaries in the beginning, this will never load on my computer when I'm streaming, but all of these empty boxes are links to Google Slides, because that's where I upload everything. I like how you can move pictures around and stuff on Google Slides. So if you click on those, you'll be able to read through. This is the 1903 ones. I update that. But down here, this would be George's 1895 diary. So this was before she even met Ralph. So if you want to read through them, they're there for you. I also upload my lives on YouTube, but those are hours long. So if you wanted to skim on my website, you can. And on here, there's also the Weatherman Diaries. That was the other series I was talking about, where I actually got to meet the great-grandson of the diary writer, and I did like a little video interview with him. I don't technically get paid to do this, but I have a Patreon, Anna, so I make a little money off that, and I have like a little research group that I run through that. But no, it's not my job. It's mostly just a hobby, but thank you, Lisa. I think so too. I used to do it on my own, and then I realized it's so much more fun on live. So these are the Weatherman Diaries, and I try to set it up the same way so you can click on the month and everything. And these are all people in those diaries that, so sad that we had to say goodbye to them. Hello. What are you doing?
Trash.
Oh, you can wait for me. I'll help you. He's taking the trash out. And these are the people in the Weatherman Diaries. Oh, Todd. We finally, after reading all of them, found a picture of the writer. Yes, if you want spoilers or to help out with the diaries, you can join the Discord. Yes. Thanks, Rachel. Yeah, the Patreon group gets the information first, pretty much. Yeah, sad that we have to say goodbye, but cool you're keeping them alive in this digital age. Thank you. Okay. R and I, who is Ralph, and I went to Des Moines to fair. Oh, they're going to a fair. We can look that up. Train 1.25 hour late. Ooh, that sucks. Got there at 8. Oh my god, they left at 2 o'clock. The website is on my link tree. It's www.thingslostandfound.com. But it's also, there's a link in my bio. Hold on. I got stuck. Got there at 8. They got up so early to go to the fair. Had breakfast. Walked around town. Went into several stores. Went to fairgrounds. And then, that's a good question. If anyone knows off the top of their head, if you live over there, let us know how far apart are Waterloo and Des Moines. And I will look it up after I'm done with this. But went to fairgrounds and then, or at 10. And looked around 10 miles. That's it? Really? Yeah, George's handwriting I found easier. I did have trouble with Ralph's, especially in his last diary. For some reason, his handwriting was like awful. Well, or sometimes his print was like completely readable, legible, I guess would be the word. His printing was flawless, but then his chicken scratch was like, what the heck? Looked it up. 128 miles. Oh, okay. Oh, thanks, Rachel. Just kidding. Went to fairgrounds at 10 and looked around. Got to dinner. And then looked around again. Rained most of the time. Went downtown at 5. Got supper. Then went into drugstore. Went to Depot. She's being very specific. Walked around. And took train at 8 for home. Wonder if it was worth it. Arrived home at 1 and walked from other side of the river as train had to wait so long. Was tired. Went to bed. Oh, at 1:30. This is 1:30 in the morning. Oh my god, that's a long day. And picked up my engagement ring. Come on, Georgia, tell us. All right, let's see what Ralph had to say about the same day. This is the coolest part. Wait, did I already read? Did I get out of? No, I didn't get out of order. So the coolest part about having both entries or both diaries of the same year from this couple is that she was a yapper. Yeah, not all the time. That was a long entry for her. We can read her account of the day and then immediately read his account. And now that he's not in college, they are spending a lot more time together. So they're sharing a lot of the same experiences. So it's cool to get to hear his take on it. Like one time they went to, like, it's called Chautauqua. It's a show or like a lecture series basically where people would go and it was free and they could, or maybe it wasn't free, but it was very cheap and they could learn about different things and see different presentations and all around the world, from around the world. And they went and there was some kind of performance and she said she really liked it and he was like, it was okay. So it was just funny to read their different opinions. And then when they got in that little argument, hearing both sides was funny. Got up at 2 a.m. This is the same day. So this is Ralph's account. Went to Des Moines on 2:50 something. 2:50 train. What did she say? She didn't say specifically what time. I don't know what that says. Ralph must have been tired getting up at 2 a.m. then bed at 1:30. I know. That is nuts. Just to go to a fair. 2:30, or 2:50 I'll say. I don't know if anyone can read that second number. Train, which was 1 hour late. See, he's saying 1 hour late. She said 1.25 hours. After breakfast, walked about the city. And saw Clifford. Oh, cool. She didn't mention Clifford. And then went to fairgrounds. Arriving there at 10 a.m. That tracks. That's the same as what she said. Went through all the buildings. But did not see much of something exhibits on account of rain. Outside exhibits. In mud. Went downtown at 5. Got supper and walked around till you think the 2 is actually 7. The first 2, normally, I don't know if that's the one you're talking about, or if they said another 2, but I will add that. But yeah, but they did get up at 2 a.m. because they went on a train and then arrived somewhere in the morning. They don't usually get up at 2 a.m. Hi. What's up?
Hi, sorry, just a quick question.
What?
Is there a green bag already outside?
No.
Okay.
Don't forget there's a bag on the porch.
Okay.
It's like under the table to add to it. Yeah, normally she gets up at 7 a.m. That would have made so much more sense on no green bag. Yep. Our trash. Our town is annoying with the trash. But yeah, this was one day where they did get up at 2 a.m., which is crazy. Hold on. And then someone told me I messed something up in the last sentence. I don't remember what it was. Did not see much of the outside. Yeah, he wrote of outside, so I'm just writing what he did, but there was something else someone told me, but I forget. I can't go back up. It could be 253, I know, and you don't know why he would be that specific, because he's Ralph. And he is also a train guy, like he works on the trains, so it could be 253. So much, thank you. Okay, we did not see so much, thank you. Yeah, it could be 253. He does get very specific about train times. Like, that wouldn't be the first time he gave us a number that precise. Got supper and walked around till about 8:30. Took C and GW, which is the Chicago and Great Western train, for Waterloo, which is funny, that's the train he used to work on. Walked across river, getting home at 1:30 a.m. There we go. Thanks for the follow, guys. Okay, now back to Georgia. Let's see what happened the next day. August 28th. We'll read a few more and then we can actually look up that fair. Maybe, how long have I been on? An hour. So I'll read a couple more entries and then we'll look up the fair. I'm going to write down that it was on August 27th. And I didn't catch, if any of my diary detectives want to come on the multi-guest, let me know. If not, I'll just do it on here by myself. August 20, no, they didn't technically live together. I think Ralph is renting a room from Georgia's parents because their house, they rent out part of it to boarders. Like, anyways, I don't know if they've always done it, but in their census, you can see that they did that even before this year. So I think he's renting out one of those rooms. Because they definitely seem like they're going to the same place and coming from the same place, but they don't live together. It's 1903. They're not married. They're not living together, I don't think. Rain nearly all day. Helped with dinner and dishes. Helped with supper and dishes. R and I played Flinch a while. Went to bed at 9:30. Flinch is a card game that they play a lot of. They play so much of it that I actually bought myself a copy from eBay. And this is a version of Flinch from 1904. It's like a little card game where you have to match the numbers sequentially, like going up. R is Ralph. Oh, cool, your grandma loved Flinch. I love that. I had never played it before, but it's still a game now. Like, they still sell modern copies of it. I just wanted an old copy. Ralph is the guy who's up in the corner of my screen. He wrote this diary that we've been reading, and then Georgia is his soon-to-be wife. She wrote the other diary. Let's see what he did on the 28th. Raining, or rainy. Got up at 6:30. God, he went right to work after that giant long day where they went to the fair. These diaries, they're actually physical diaries that I have that I took the pictures of. They were donated to me by someone who was who read an article about another project that I did. So he read about other diaries I was reading and he sent me these as a secondary project. It is cool. Okay, rainy, got up at 6:30, set grade on Falls Ave. Thank you, Goblin. And in PM till about, in AM. And in PM till about 2 o'clock. When we got caught in rain. The nosy side of me loves this. Yeah, same. It's like gossip, but it doesn't really hurt anybody. Came home and developed picture and read the papers. After supper, played Flinch. with Georgia and went to bed at 9:30. What did Ralph do for work at this time? I don't think actually he must be working because he's going and making like surveys of different things, and I don't really know, but setting grades is something about like, I think the grade, like the slope, or sometimes he's like putting in rods to measure distances between stuff, and so he does like surveying and engineering work right now, but I think it's just like on the side. He just graduated college and he's been applying to different positions, or right at the end of college he applied to a bunch, but he said he got something, but he doesn't end up, it was MIT, which is crazy because MIT is near where I live, if that's the one he was talking about. But he doesn't end up working for MIT because he ends up working for a different college. So I don't know. Right now, I think he's working for her dad or working for the city doing side engineering jobs. How did they meet? We're not 100% sure, but I think it had to do with Georgia's father, who I have a picture of. He was the city engineer of Waterloo, and we have seen links, we've found links between him and Ralph. They were both part of the same engineering society a few years before this diary. So I think what happened was Ralph got a job with him or met him at an engineering event, and he met Georgia through the father. That's what my guess is. We really don't know, but that's just, I've put together the pieces that I have, and that's what we came up with. August 29th. Got up at 6:30. Helped with dishes. Swept all morning. Helped with dinner. Dishes. Dusted. Ralph, you would have loved indeed. Yes. He would have a lot of credentials. Railroad work. He did a lot. He like helped plan out there when in the 1901 diary. It was pretty cool because he was part of building out the Chicago and Great Western Railroad. Like he helped map out the tracks that they were expanding. So I don't think the railroads are as big nowadays because there's so many other modes of transportation, but a lot of the tracks that are still there today are probably ones that he helped plan out. I would be a happy ghost if someone took the time out of their lives to document mine. It's funny you bring that up, Kat, because a few weeks ago, I shared this with everybody. I had not talked about it before, but last year I went to a medium, and I went to a medium for like a different reason, not for this stuff, but it came out, she started mentioning like, there's like a lot of people here, and like last time I was saying too, I don't know how much I believe and invest in all this, but it was pretty cool that she brought it up. She said like a lot of people were there and they're not necessarily related to me, but they're very invested and you're very invested in them. And they were talking about, I guess one person came to her and was talking about the weather over and over again. And the last diary series that we read was called The Weatherman Diaries because this guy would not stop talking about the weather. So I was like, oh my God, I know who that is. That's Todd. And Todd thanked me. So yeah, I know. Well, that's the thing too, is like, I don't think that this woman had any like negative intent or anything. She seemed genuine to me, but it is true that my stuff is on the internet. And if someone were to look up my name before I came into a session, they would probably find that stuff. So I do keep that in mind too. But I have to say, I think I said this last time too, I won't get into details, but there were some things about the person I went there for to see was not related to the diaries, someone in my life. And some of the things that this woman said were like spot on, detailed, incredibly detailed. Like you could not pull this thing out of your butt. Like it was like crazy how specific it was and how much it lined up with what I went through with that person. So that part of it, like I am skeptical, but I could not find like I couldn't debunk that part. So I think there is some truth to it, but I don't know. Everyone can believe what they want, but I might go back sometime. hitched horse up to, or hup up, and Mama and I went out. Yeah, it was a cool experience. Out to get, and Lisa, you said your mom is a medium. That is very cool. Should ask her if the diary people have anything to say. And went to get, it would be cool if, and again, like, if this wasn't a public thing where someone could go on and, like, scam me, because of course there are people out there who don't have good intentions and who would do it just to be, like, I don't know, who would lie. But it would be cool to do a guest live with someone who is a medium, and maybe they, like, could see if anyone from the diaries would come through. That would be really fun. More cucumbers. Went out to get more cucumbers. How many cucumbers do they need? At McClellan's. Went up to Grandpa's. Maybe the McClellans just planted too many. That's what happened to me this year. We had way too many cucumbers. And to the store. Helped with supper and dishes. R and I went down. Oh, okay. Oh, wait, that's a good thing? Your mom is German and doesn't really understand English, so she would be perfect. Okay, I thought you were going to say, like, so she couldn't really do it. Hey, if she wants to come on, reach out to me. That would be fun. Oh my god, yeah. Next year I do a Halloween stream with a seance. We could try it. That's kind of scary. But I would totally, it's too bad I didn't think of this before. I would totally do something tomorrow on Halloween with a medium. That would be fun. R and I went downtown. Went to bed at 11. Okay. Now, oh, 8/29, that's your birthday. Hold on, let me type it, and I have a special thing for you. It's super lame, but it's my favorite thing. Diary birthday. And today is Valentina's actual birthday. I don't think she's coming today. She's busy, but happy diary birthday. Woohoo. My little video. Very special. It's the first diary birthday of the day. Do they ever talk about what they do when they're downtown? Not a lot. Sometimes she'll say specifically, thanks. Sometimes she'll say specifically where they went, but usually it's just went downtown. And sometimes she'll be like, oh, we went downtown 3 times. So they just went downtown, went home, went downtown again, went, you know. Thank you, Luke. This is wholesome. Got up at 6:30. No, this is hers. Hold on. Wrong person. There we go. Cloudy. Got up. You're so curious now? Curious about what? About this or about, you can ask me anything. Got up at 6:30. 30? Went over, yeah, they're really pumping my video out today. Went out, we got a lot of new followers, that's cool. You wonder what pencil he used? I have no idea. But he did switch to a pen briefly, but then went back. No Ticonderoga, that's for sure. Went over to City Hall. It was funny, one time his writing got like, I don't know if I think it just got like very light, and then you could see when he sharpened his pencil because all of a sudden it got dark again. And set grade on Falls Avenue at Horn Park in AM. How did you find the picture of him? Oh, that one's fun. The picture of him that I have is actually from a yearbook. I probably have a link to it. Well, that's his friends, but where's the picture of him? Way up here. All my documents are like really, really long. In 1903, he went to Cornell College. I guess this is also to a yearbook. Oh, man. Hold on, I have a link. I gotta open it up somewhere else, though, and then add it in. Oops. Alright, hold on. Copy. So bright. This is a yearbook from 1903. I don't know exactly what page he was on, but he's in here. Yeah, and finding the pictures, we find them, yeah, it's just online. It takes a lot of trial and error and time, This site is Cornell College in Iowa. They have a like a historical archive of all of their, or not all, but a lot of their old yearbooks. And I guess, wow, they've uploaded so much, 1888 to 2012. That is really cool. Sometimes we find things on Ancestry. Usually, like, the list of places we look is Find a Grave. Okay, awesome, Maddie. That's awesome. We're glad to have you. Find a Grave. We just do, like, regular Google searches of different places and finding old pictures of that. This was just lucky that we found the old yearbooks and that they actually put them on there, because obviously things exist everywhere, but they're not uploaded to the internet, and you'll never find them because I'm not going to Iowa anytime soon. So it is cool that they took the time, this university or college, I guess, to upload this stuff, not only upload it, but also make it public. I use newspapers.com, which is a paid subscription, which is a pain. Like, I hate having to pay for stuff like that, but it is worth it if you're doing this kind of research. And Ancestry, I think I said Find a Grave. There is one called Family Search that's free that you could look at. But yeah, basically finding pictures of people, Find a Grave, Ancestry, Family Search, newspapers. And finding pictures of places, I find a lot of them on Facebook in like historical photo groups of certain towns, because people love to upload old historic pictures of their town. So there's a lot of stuff on those Facebook groups that you can't find in other places. So yeah, I don't know if that answered the question. I kind of forget what the question was now, but oh, you were hosting a pumpkin carving contest at work? That's fun. Old Facebook groups, like old memory ones. Yes, they are great. And you get the stories along with them, and you get to connect with people who might actually know the family or a person that you're looking for, because some of those towns they stay the same for a long time. Like, I still am doing some research on these old photos that I have, and they're from a town in Western Mass that it's a small, tiny town, and it has stayed the same since 1880 when the photos were taken, and there are still people there who know of the family members of this person. Like, they know the last name. It had been passed down, obviously, over time. They didn't know the people, but they knew, like, her grandchildren, and they were able to connect me with people who might want the pictures. So it was pretty cool and I found them on Facebook. It was pretty cool to connect that through the Facebook groups. Yeah, Jesse, we've been having a lot of fun today. A lot of people in the live today asking good questions. So we read through like 5 or 6 entries of each person, because now Ralph is also writing again. So our progress will slow down a little bit now because we're reading 2 people, but that's okay. And I'm typing it out to be able to search back, because we could read it and then just keep moving on, but we'll forget, like, oh, was this person mentioned before, or was that place mentioned before? So we can now easily search this text. And then also I can send this to people who might be interested, like family members and stuff, if we find them. And I have like a transcription that they can read. Crazy to think the connection from a handwritten diary in the 1800s to digital Facebook in 2024. I know. I could write a really good research paper on that. It's also handy to be able to look back at names when we might be unsure of one before. Yeah, like trying to pinpoint who a person is. Like, sometimes they'll give us the last name and the first name, and other times just the first name, so we can search back to whenever that person was mentioned before. Many different reasons, mostly just for research and sharing. Okay. I don't know if that says Horn Park, but I'm just going to keep it unless anyone has any objections. After dinner, went out to Strawberry Ave. It is the end of the sentence. All right. Oh, that's a great question, Dana. What is your favorite slang or term you've seen them write? Oh, the diary detectives will definitely chime in like less than 10 seconds. One of them is forenoon. I learned that word with the Rachel, you're awesome. When the Weatherman Diaries, we came across the word forenoon, and she used it all the time, Edna, and it means before noon, like in the forenoon, in the morning. Disagreeable, yep, disagreeable weather. In the AM. Oh my god, it's so hard to think like off the top of my head, but it is funny. Oh, and nothing unusual. That's what Edna, hey Emily, Edna used to say, nothing unusual today. Thanks, Penny, you got it. Yes, forenoon, even though it's not slang. Yes, you're right. Thank you for reminding us. But it is something that I hadn't heard said in my life. Yeah, what would be a slang? Well, I have one from the 1917 diary, which I didn't read on live, but I made a lot of videos about. Flivver. Flivver and flivving. So a flivver is a nickname for a Ford Model T, like one of the first cars that they had going around on the streets, and she was pretty rich, so a lot of her friends had cars, so they used to go out in someone's flivver, or they'd go flivving. Thanks for the gifts, guys. Is there a reason R has a dot? Makes it look like an I, or it's just the way he writes. Where? I'm not sure where you're talking about. If you tell me, I can... Oh, I see. Strawberry. That is actually him crossing his T, but not on the T. Yeah, I don't know. I think I had looked up why they came up with that name at one point, because I was, like, making a video about it, but I don't remember. I'll look it up. It originated from a slang word in the... Oh, no, that is a different... That's the Ford Flivver, a plane. And it came from designated an inexpensive car, which is funny because it probably wasn't inexpensive. They were just rich. The term flivver was used as a slang for an inexpensive car in the early 1900s, and the origin is unknown. It was often used to describe a car that was poorly maintained or of poor quality. Or maybe I was wrong. Maybe they didn't have nice cars. The term was also used as a verb to mean to fail. The term flivver was first used in print in 1910, just 2 years after the Model T was released. It was the first affordable automobile and was quickly given many colorful nicknames, including Flivver, Bone Crusher, Bouncing Betty, Henry's Go-Kart, Puddle Jumper. I'm pretty sure she said we were going puddle jumping one time. Spirit of Detroit and Tin Lizzie. That's funny. She flipped that one up. Yeah, so I guess maybe the Ford Model T for these rich teenagers in 1917 was a cheap car. There was one that she mentioned. I don't know if I'd be able to find a picture of it. I have like a whole stash of pictures from that diary, but there was one of her friends had like a Dodge, and it was really nice, and she was saying, but I guess flivvers are cheap. Okay. Strawberry. Wrong one. Got back at 6. After supper, Georgia and I went downtown. I know, they were super bougie. Took a bath and went to bed at 10:30. If you're new to my page, you should watch a couple of the videos about Anglesy's 1917 diary, because all of her friends were super bougie. I can show you them. I'd have to, hold on, find it over here first. Let me find the page, because this slide is actually 131 pages long. I'm a little nuts. But I have pictures of all of her friends. Oh, this is one of them. Let's see if I can bring it. I don't know if it'll let me. Hold on. Because it's from a different Google account. Is it showing it? Yeah. So this is... Oh, it's not going to work if I zoom in. This is one of Anglesy's friends in Brooklyn. Priscilla. Actually, I should move it over here. Hold on. This will show you more. There we go. There's Priscilla. And then we've got a lot of her friends, because they were rich. They had passports and they went to a bunch of different places. So I found a lot of the friends' pictures in passports. One of her friends was a movie star. I don't know if she was a movie star at the time. Yeah, she would call me poor. Yes, same. She's the type of girl who lived in Brooklyn Heights and in a brownstone mansion, and her family had a summer home on Long Island that is now a museum. So she was well off. Her grandmother's house, just to give you kind of like some context. Her grandmother's house, which was basically the same as hers, Anglesy, I have her picture, hold on. Here she is. She wrote the diary. She lived across the street from her grandmother in a Brooklyn brownstone on Columbia Heights in Brooklyn Heights. Her house was torn down when they built the expressway, but her grandmother's house is still there, and it recently sold for over $17 million, which is crazy. You can actually look it up. I don't know if it's still... if the pictures are still there, but this is the house, and you can see... Oh, the Zestimate is only $14 million. Oh my god. It sold for $17 million. It was listed for $17,777,000 because it's 177. Or no, it's 77 Columbia Heights. But there were a bunch of sevens in the asking price, I think, just cause when you get up that high, like, what does it matter? Another 777,000. Yeah, it's crazy. Want to see the pictures? Maybe after we do this, I'll finish the entry I was on, and then we'll do a little researching about that fair, and then I'll log off. No, the Anglesey PowerPoint is not on my website because it's a huge, giant mess. It was just my dumping ground for all the information I found before I started making it look pretty. Yeah, so Anglesey talks about going to her grandmother's house every day. She goes to 77. That's her nickname for this house because it's 77 Columbia Heights. And her house was 80 Columbia Heights. We have a picture of the outside of it, but it is not there anymore. Yeah, Luke said, I wonder if it's changed much inside. There's definitely some parts that look like obviously the kitchen. They've added amenities. But yeah, there's a lot that, like, the kitchen looks super modern, but there's a lot that looks original. Oh, it's so cool. I wish I could have gone to see it. I saw it outside. I have a picture of myself out in front of this house, but I haven't obviously been in it. There's so many paintings on the wall. It is crazy to think that she walked in this house. And a lot of her friends' houses are there still. Look at the bathroom. It's crazy. And that literally is the view. They might have photoshopped it to make it look like a nicer day, but that is the view from the house. It's incredible. Do you ever find physical copies of old diaries? I would love to find and read some. Yeah, the ones we're reading they are physical copies. I just take pictures of them. And the 1917 one that I'm talking about is right here. But you can look on eBay for them if you want to buy one. A lot of them are expensive on eBay, though, so just wait until the right one comes around. Don't spend a ton of money. Some people really try to rip you off. Wow, so beautiful. They didn't even need to include these pictures at the end. They just needed to show the inside of the house. I didn't need the fireworks. Yeah, so on eBay, I have one tip for you. If you find a diary that you're interested in, make sure you read the description and make sure it says, like, if it's full or not. Because if you're buying it to read it, not just to have it in a collection, you want it to be full or almost full. And a lot of times on eBay, a lot of the diaries on there are, like, they'll take a picture of the pages that are written in, but then they'll say, oh, there's only like 5 pages written in. So make sure you verify that it is full enough for your satisfaction before buying it. You can always like message the seller too. Yes, thank you. The house is the grandmother of Anglesey, the woman from the 1917 diary. Okay, what did I do last time? I did Ralph. I read both. Okay, so let me make sure. Did I finish Ralph 29th? No. Wait, this is hers. I did. Okay, so I am done with the 29th of August. I don't know. Should I just finish the month? No, I haven't read the Diary of Sylvia Plath. Maybe I should do. Yes, I am going to research the fair. That's why I'm trying to figure out, should I keep going, or I'm getting kind of hungry. So I think maybe I will stop there. Unless it really bothers someone that I'm stopping right at the end of the month. But if I go to the end of the month, that's like a few more entries. I don't feel like I want to do that. So let's look at the fair. I have a couple of things. And if any of my diary detectives want to come up, let me know. If not, I'll just keep going. Searching. I'm going to open up newspapers.com. And this is the Des Moines Fair on August 27th. So I don't know which fair. I'll just look up fair. Or fairgrounds, maybe? Yeah, I know. A new month would be good for next live, but what's the date of the next live? It's next Thursday. It's always... Oh, yeah, okay. Probably been the Iowa State Fair. Probably. It's always on Thursdays, except for sometimes. Like this week, I did Wednesday because it's Halloween tomorrow. So usually Thursdays at 6 p.m. That's what next time will be. I made a live event on my TikTok page. You can sign up for it there. Or if you want to join my Discord, I have 2. I have one that's a free Discord that's just for me to send reminders. I'm going live today. I'm going live tomorrow, whatever. And then the other Discord you'll see is a Patreon Discord, which has like more stuff in it. We do more in-depth stuff. We do extra video meetings, stuff like that. If you ever get the chance... You haven't looked at wethepeople.org. It's used to transcribe docs. Someone told me about that a long time ago, and I never looked. I always write down notes during lives and then forget about them. I'm going to look that up today. I could even do it on here. Okay, sorry. I'll do August 27th. Or I'll just do August 1903 for now. Oh, hold on, I gotta log in. Okay. Record-breaking fair promised. Let's narrow it down to the 27th. Fairgrounds. Yeah, Rachel is explaining the Patreon group. We have our own diaries. We help each other out in other chats, like General Birds. Yeah, we have like a little club. And then we do our monthly video meeting, too. That's different from this live. Despite rain, State Fair, yeah, it is the State Fair, is a success. Okay. Iowa Fruit and Horticultural Building. Okay, so this is a photo from the fair. That is cool. There must be more then. So if it's the State Fair, I'm going to do that. State Fair. And since that is a big event, I'm going to do this too. Iowa State Fair 1903. Maybe there are pictures that will come up. Yeah. Yeah, usually if we're reading one person's diary, we usually get through a month alive and it's very satisfying. But with 2 people at once, usually we read like half a month. And we just switched back now because Ralph wasn't writing for a while and now he is, so. This is in 1854, the Iowa State Fair. Let's see. No. Oh, wait. Is it? Yeah. In Fairfield. I want it to be specifically from 1903, but I don't find myself finding that. 1909. think this is the one that's from 1909. That's pretty cool. Quote 1903. Okay. Georgia. Oh, too bad. I was like, Imagine that if we just stumbled upon her picture. Oh god, no, I don't want to know what that is. Some of these websites that you click on, it's like, oh, I'm gonna get a virus. I don't see. I know, I agree. There are a bunch of everyone else, and her husband was the mayor. There has to be pictures somewhere. We just haven't found it yet. That's all. Hi again.
Hello.
Still, I'm almost done. Did you eat yet?
No.
I know, we will find one. We will. The problem when there's so much information about something is you can't easily find which ones have pictures. Like when there's only a few articles, you can usually see from the preview, oh, this one has a picture, this one doesn't. But I'm probably going to have a lot of articles to sift through. This is a ad. Maybe here. Yeah, cool. Iowa's State Fair is now in full swing. That font bothers me a lot. Does that bother anybody else? Why is the W so expressive? Maybe we can find out how much a ticket was. This is a picture of the fairgrounds, which looks similar to that other picture because there was a big track. Ooh, brutal crime was committed. There's always, like, whenever you're reading a cute article about a state fair, not too far away from it is always some crazy crime. It's kind of sad. Attendance promises to keep up with the exhibits in... Hold on, what? Attendance promises to keep up with the exhibits and breaking the record. Okay, so maybe there were a lot of exhibits. Yeah, exactly. Those are all the buildings they were in and out of. Draft horse and swine shows, the greatest yet made. Other exhibits. Corn and stock judging contests. Ooh, Ellis Rail won the scholarship. How lovely. Yeah, the font in the text is like, it's bothering me. Waterloo and other tents destroyed by night gate. Great damage done. What? Oh, gale. It's gale. It was destroyed by wind. Okay. Now here's the attendance. I wonder if they had a sky lift back then. Probably. I don't know. I was going to say probably not, but maybe. Okay. Oh, they actually have how much money they made and how many people. Okay, so in 1902, on Monday, 3,800 people came. And in 1903, on Monday, 7,000 people came. So I bet at Friday we'll be able to find all the information about how many people came. There's a lot of information about the people and the tents, which we could read, but that will take a long time. Okay, so let's look. I'll save this article. Let's look on Friday. What day did they go? Good question. The 27th, so they went on Thursday. Nope. It's so hard sometimes to tell if there's going to be a picture. Chickering pianos. This might be a picture. Sometimes that line above it, no. I'd also just like to know what the results of this tally are. about how many people went. Maybe they'll report on it the day after. Like, oh, I'm on August 27th again somehow. I meant to be on 28th. Okay. Wonder if they had funnel cake? Possibly. They did not say. Oh, burglars. Okay. Let's see. Guess it was a success. That's where you are? Oh, awesome. It might be front page news if it's the last day. Yeah, I don't know how to filter that. If it was front page, I mean, you can see, like, sometimes, like, this, preview, you could tell it was the front page, but it might also be not just in Des Moines. It might be, didn't it say? I don't know. The top one? Page 1. Okay, yeah. But then the clip is just, well, there's 18 matches, so you might be right. Oh, thank you. Yes, this is what I was looking for. You're awesome. So this is the tally for the end of the fair. It's very blurry. So, compared to 1902, okay, this is 1903, this is 1902. There were 3,800 people on the first day, 7,000 on the first day and the year after. And then 20,000 the second day, 40,000. The only day, oh, it did go down a little bit, huh? So it went from 30 to 40,000 and went from 48 to 40, so that went down. You're awesome, yeah. Thanks, Lisa. And 25,000, it looks like, to 12,000. You know why, though? It's the rain. It was the rain. And then 7,000 to 11,000. There was actually less people that year than the year before. But I think that's the rain. Yeah, they said, Ralph and Georgia said that the rain and the mud kept them from going to any of the outdoor exhibits. And then in the last article, it said that, like, a couple of the tents were destroyed from the rain, and I guess it was, like, a lot of rain. The Iowa State Fair of 1903 indicated what it might have been, oh, I cannot read, what it might have been with the propitious, I don't know what that word is, weather by turning out the biggest Friday attendance on record. Why did the mayor say never again? I don't know. I didn't see where that was. Up here? I don't know. I didn't see that. Hold on. Keep reading. The other page. Not this one. Not that one. Here. Title from the 27th. So I have to go back and search the 27th? I don't know. What do you mean? 29. This one? No, that's the 28th. If you guys just saw it, though, it must have been something that was just up. This one? Front page on the first one opened. This? Second part of the 29th. Like, down here? No. It's hard for me to understand what you guys are trying to say. It was on the page where the first attendance was. Okay. Now, do I still have that open? This one. Okay, thank you. Where? Never again? I don't think that's about the... I don't think that's about the fair. Chicago man to retire from politics at the end of his present term. So he is retiring. He's saying, never again. Okay, let me go back to here. Fair has made money. Imagine never again a fair. I know. Never again am I allowing the fair to come to my city. It is quite dramatic. In spite of the continuous rain, which cut into the biggest days, the fair has made money. Just how much cannot yet be definitely stated until all expenses have been met. but the directors are more than confident that they will have a comfortable margin of profit. The amount on the right side of the balance sheet will not be as heavy, however, as in 1902 when the receipts were a little greater and the expenses not quite so heavy. The receipts from the amphitheater for today's races will also go to swell it. The fair was over with the closing of the races on Friday afternoon. Friday evening witnessed the departure of many of the exhibits, which have helped to make the fair a success, the success which it was, and the remainder will be shipped today. The heaviest steer in the world, the gypsy camp, and all the other choice attractions which are associated peculiarly with Fair Week have disappeared until their return for the usual warm reception at the State Fair of 1904. Nothing but words of praise are heard for the management for this year's fair. Every detail had been foreseen and looked after. The judges secured were the most competent in the state and their several departments, and the smoothness with which the fair passed off is a tribute to the efficiency of the arrangements. Oh, okay, that's a lot of words. Too bad it'll be super easy for people in hundreds of years to look us up. Yeah, that's true. But who knows? Maybe there'll be so much information on the internet that it will be hard to find us. Could you look up the company that printed the first receipt and look directly at their other prints instead of trying the website? You mean like the newspaper that printed the first receipts? I think it's the same newspaper. The Des Moines Register. I was searching. I didn't know which newspapers exactly to search, so I just searched on newspapers.com and it searched all of that area with State Fair as a word in it. So, but it did end up being, I think it's both the Des Moines Register. Yeah, maybe they are. So we can look at the, I think, yeah, here, the receipts. All sources. What does that say? Well, total. Now, what is it receipts or like, that would be what they made? Or what they spent? That would be receipts, like they, I don't know, because when I think of a receipt, it's something that I spent. Or maybe it's like what they received, like ticket prices and everything. Yeah, gates. This must be like fees to get into the gates. Okay, so total was $6,843.95, I think. But I think what they're saying is like the fees were more, so it's probably going to end up being less of a profit than 1902. But I'll look up. I know you're not blind. This is really blurry. I'm going to look up inflation calculator. And I just click on like a random one every time. Does this go back far enough? No. This doesn't go back far enough either. Okay. What was the number? 6,000. Thank you, Lisa, for putting that in there, because now I can see it. 6,543.35. That is equal to $234,446 today. Cool. Oh, BLS calc. Is that a inflation calculator? All right. Was there anything else we needed to look up, or was that it for today? Because I am getting real hungry. Next week on Thursday, we're going to keep reading through August. In the meantime, if you guys are new, check out my Patreon page. Check out my website. We're always looking for new people for the Patreon. It's a fun group. Just stopped. Oh, birthday. Hold on. Diary birthday. I got to go find it. Here it is. Happy diary birthday. Glad that you were able to stop in for your diary birthday. Okay. So I made an event for next week if you want to sign up for it. Thank you, Luke. Awesome. And thanks, Jules. Thanks, Lisa, for stopping in. Yeah, I'm going to go eat some pizza, I think. We'll make pizza. Oh, it's the official government calc. What is it called? BLS or BIS? BLS calc? Yeah, this one didn't go far back enough. It only went to 1913. I need one that's earlier. So happy that I found you. Saw you once a few months ago. I'm happy you're back. So if you don't want to miss it next time, sign up for the notifications. I wish I could send out to every one of my followers on TikTok that I'm going live, but I don't have the power to do that. So if you sign up for the live event on my TikTok page, that will help. But also joining the Discord will help, because I send, awesome, Jules. I send a reminder on there every week that says, I'm going live tomorrow or today in a half an hour. Oh, no, we didn't. Thank you. Oh, you know what, though? I could read it to you, but I don't have a picture of it. I could read the Halloween entry, but I have to do... Like, I have to just read it to you. Oh, these... I feel so bad opening these because they're in such bad condition. They're, like, falling apart. Okay, this is Georgia's. I will go to October 31st. Okay. Oh, that's September, October. Okay. Got up at 7. Helped with dishes. Went up to Grandpa's and got team. And then went down in the country and brought Auntie and Grandpa to town. Helped with dinner, work, and several things. We got home a little after 7. Had supper, read a while, went to bed at 9:30. They didn't do anything for Halloween. I don't know. I was actually listening to a podcast today about the history of Halloween in America. Rachel and I have been talking about the history of Halloween. She sent me a video about it. Like the tracing back to Ireland. But the one I was listening to was focusing on like how it's changed in America since it was here. And it used to be like very prank oriented and very like not good. Like people would be sticking burning things in people's buildings and like setting off bombs and stuff. like small things, but kids just causing a lot of havoc. And yeah, like the Purge. They literally compared it to the Purge many times in that podcast. But yeah, I don't know in 1903 like what it was like, but I guess they didn't participate. But let me see if Ralph did. Yeah, when I say bombs, I don't mean like they were yes, outhouse tippings. They weren't like bombing houses, but like there were some pretty violent things. The podcast is called wait, I don't know which one it was. I've been listening to 2. I started listening to You're Wrong About, which is, I think it was that one, and American Hysteria, but I think the one about Halloween was You're Wrong About. Let me see. Yes, and it's actually their most recent episode. So if anyone wants to listen to it, it's You're Wrong About, and it's called Halloween History. Okay. This is Ralph's. Got up at 7, went to Blue Island from 7 something at 8:15. Got back at 4:30 and received a letter from Georgia. Wonder where he is. Went downtown with Ganser, who was one of his friends, and bought a clock, okay, at something. Auction. He bought a clock at auction. Got back at 9:30, went to bed. So he didn't do anything either. Or if he did, he didn't write about it. So sorry to disappoint you. That kind of stinks. That on Halloween they didn't do anything fun, but maybe they didn't celebrate it. In 1903, it was a night of mischief, vandalism, and mayhem. Penny, that's the greatest way to put it. That's what the podcast was describing. Mischief, vandalism, that's the word I was thinking of. Like, they vandalized things. And mayhem, chaos. And then they talk about in that podcast, too, like, how adults tried to make it more tame. Like, they tried to take, instead of letting the teenagers go out and destroy things, oh, let's have them all come to our basements and we'll decorate them like haunted houses. And like they tried to take it down a few notches. It's just funny. And that's how it became what it is today. I'll write them an angry letter for not doing anything on Halloween. Okay, guys, so I will be on... Thank you, Jules. I gotta go make the pizza. I'll be on next Thursday. So that's the 7th, I think, right? November 7th. I can't believe it's already November. I hope to see some of you new people on Thursday. It's fun to have new people join in. So thank you for your comments, and thanks for asking questions. And I'll see you guys next week. Thank you.